Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Sammy Musgrave here, your email copywriting expert, and we're talking about how to create Michelin star emails. A Michelin star email is an email that's designed to captivate your reader and compel them to take action. Ultimately, that normally means creating more sales in your business through effective email messaging. Last week, we talked about creating the opening of your email. And this week, we're going to be talking about the segue. So the segue is what you use to smoothly and naturally transition your reader from the beginning of your email into the offer or the hook. So specifically last week, we were talking a lot about using a story to really captivate your reader and draw them into your email. So a segue is a very, very important writer's tool to naturally bring your reader around to the point of your story and how it relates to your hook. Now, it's important to note that a segue in this respect is not the kind that has wheels, two wheels that you're riding down the street. It is really a writer's mechanism, or it's also used in music or in films, using smooth transitions from one scene to the next. So when it comes to writing, the segue is really used to connect the story with the hook. And I used a Venn diagram here, so you know it's pretty official. I'm going to use an example to show you what I mean, and this example might sound familiar to you because this was an email that I received a couple weeks ago, and I used the first part of it as an example to demonstrate using a really good story when you're starting an email. So let's dive in. Out of nowhere, with a mouthful of pistachio-crusted pork loin, I get this question. Mom, did people make up the idea of God? That's what they don't tell you about parenting, Sammy. All these talks that you prepare for, God, sex, hamster deaths, aren't planned. They happen suddenly, like a car accident. My 12-year-old son has a particular way of bringing up these major topics nonchalantly over a bougie dinner. A couple of months ago, I walked by his room at 11 p.m. and heard voices. When I walked in, he was sound asleep and Alexa was playing what I thought might have been a talk news program. The next morning at breakfast, I asked if he had accidentally been listening to NPR. I love NPR. Terry Gross is really smart. And this was the scene in 2016 when he was just 8. Watching the election with my 8-year-old son. Him. Mom, what about the housing subsidies? Me. I haven't read a lot about that specific issue. Him. When you say not much, what do you know? Me. As much as I can Google before you stop talking. And now he has years more of social studies classes, YouTube ads, and apparently NPR to formulate new questions. Sometimes parenting and freelancing feel pretty similar. Have you ever been on a call when a client asks about the new trendiest marketing buzzword? Do you have any experience with the POS formula? Insert name of guru, present it at the expensive exclusive mastermind meeting last week and added another 7-figure revenue stream. We should run it. What do you know about it? As much as I can Google before you stop talking. So do you see how she was able to smoothly transition from the story to her point? So the story is about how she's not sure how to answer some of her son's questions. She uses sometimes parenting and freelancing feels pretty similar as a nice segue into how this relates to when her clients asks her questions and she's really not sure what the answer is. Okay, now that's not the end of the example. So the email continues and it's even worse if you're new to this game. Sometimes talking with potential clients feels like going to Catholic church for the first time. There seems to be a script that was handed out that you missed. Or is that just me that feels that way? With my FOCBS coaching students, we frequently discuss common terms found in contracts and discussed during negotiations. I put them all together as a reference document that can help you if you get a Terry Gross level question or contract clause. And then she links to the glossary that she's talking about. So let's take a look at this in a double Venn diagram. So you can see she's got two segues happening here. So we start with the story, which is all about her son asking questions and how she's not sure how to answer those difficult questions. And then the segue is about how parenting and freelancing can be very similar. And then we go to her point about when her client asks questions and she's not sure what the answer is, how she kind of uses the same methods that she uses when she's trying to figure out an answer to one of her son's questions. And then we have another segue, which is, and it's even worse when you're new to the game. And then we end with the point, which is really the offer for her free glossary for new freelancers and copywriters. So how can you create great segues for your emails? I really recommend practicing, and here's a process to get you started. Think about the story that you want to tell, and then the offer that you want to put out there. And then just start brain dumping similarities between the two. So let me show you an example. I want to tell a story about having broccoli stuck in my teeth, and it was for hours and nobody told me, and it was really embarrassing. And then I want to make an offer. It's a fitness course that you can take from home. And then I just started brain dumping similarities. So, sometimes working out at the gym in front of people can be embarrassing. Broccoli and working out at the gym is healthy. I'm serious, like dump everything into here. It's really going to get the juices flowing. So even if you think what you're coming up is silly or dumb, put it in there. It's just really important to put ideas down on the page. People judging. So, when you've got broccoli in your teeth, you're worrying about people judging you when you're working out at the gym and you're not super familiar with the equipment, or you're just feeling self-conscious. You're worried about people judging you. Of course, sometimes you're using equipment at the gym and you're not sure if you're doing something wrong. And then thinking about a story about when I use gym equipment incorrectly. And then that generated the idea about how seeing somebody, and we've probably all been here, at least seen the YouTube videos where somebody is at the gym and they are just using the equipment so obviously wrong. And you're really embarrassed for that person, but no one has the heart to tell that person that they're using it incorrectly, which is very similar to when you're sitting there across the table from an acquaintance. It's, you don't have the heart sometimes to tell that person that they've got kale or broccoli in their teeth. And then I wrote, we pretend not to see those people when they're doing things wrong. So anything goes, right? Anything in this here. But you just create a table, put the story here, the offer here, and then just start brain dumping whatever comes to mind. Okay, and now you have your story, you have your offer, and then you did that big brain dump of all of the similarities between the two. The next thing you're going to want to do is take a look at this transitional phrases starter kit. These are transitional phrases you can use to start linking the two ideas. Some of the transitional phrases include in like manner, likewise, comparatively, in similar fashion, it's kind of like, at the same time. So why am I telling you this? Well, blank is similar to blank. So for an example, so why am I telling you this? Well, having broccoli stuck in your teeth on one of your first dates is similar to when you're working out at the gym and you're using the equipment incorrectly, but nobody's telling you. Now, this is an example of using all of the elements together. So we start with the embarrassing story about there being broccoli in your teeth when you're on a first date, and you don't know until you get home and look in the mirror. And we use the segue to connect this story to the offer, which is a fitness program that you're able to use from home. So the segue is, it's kind of like when you use the machine at the gym wrong, but no one tells you, and you only know you were doing it wrong because now this hot guy is using that same piece of equipment in a way that looks right and definitely was not at all what you were just doing. And then our fitness program allows you to work out at home and gives you crystal clear instructions so you'll never have to embarrass yourself in front of another hottie at the gym again. So this wraps it all together. So I really encourage you to practice. Use that table that I showed you, which has the story, the empty space in the middle, the offer, and just start writing whatever comes into your mind. Do not limit yourself. Do not try to self-edit yourself. Just put it all down on paper. It's going to really help you generate some good ideas, and it'll get you used to creating those connections between a story and an offer. And then take a look again at that transitional phrases toolkit, because those are phrases you can use to easily and smoothly transition your story to your offer. And it's going to be a more natural way. It's going to help you not feel like a sleazy salesperson, because I know how uncomfortable it can be from, making the turn from storyteller to having to make your offer or make the sale. So like I said, get practicing. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email's right here. It's sammy@sammycopy.ca. And I've also included my website, which is www.sammycopy.ca, as well as my Instagram handle. So I will talk to you soon. Bye.